Hello students, let us continue with chapter 12 electricity. Let us recall in the previous video you have studied what is an electric current. You know it is the amount of charge flowing through the conductor in unit time. You know its SI unit is ampere and you can easily define it. You know the other units of current are milliampere, microampere which are commonly used. You know what is an electric circuit? It is a closed and continuous path of an electric current. Now, whenever you are asked to draw the circuit diagram, suppose if I ask you to draw the picture of a circuit, first of all, you know that in any circuit, two components are very important or present in all the circuits. Which are they? One is cell or battery, because when we say electric circuit, electric current will be flowing through it when it is working, and electric current can flow only when there is potential difference. And this potential difference is created and maintained by the cell or battery. So cell or battery is a source of potential difference which should be present in all the electric circuits. Then switch is also a very important part of all the circuits, because without switches only we can control the flow of current. We can turn it on or off. Connecting wires, they are definitely present in all the circuits, and plus other electrical components are there depending upon different circuits. So now if you are asked to draw the diagram of the circuit using the pictures on your own, so you will not be able to draw it comfortably, and everyone does not have good drawing, and it is also not convenient. So there is a concept of circuit diagram. Now what is circuit diagram? It is a diagram which represents the circuit, but in which we don't draw the pictures of the various components. Instead we use symbols for the various components. Okay. So circuit diagram, what is the definition? It is a schematic diagram of an electric or electrical circuit, we can say, in which different components of the circuit are represented by the symbols. So there are symbols which can be used for different components. We'll be seeing the symbols of commonly used components, electrical components. Okay, and circuit diagram then can be easily drawn by all of us. Now, let us see here the symbols of various commonly used electrical components. As I told you, an electrical cell or a battery should be present in all the circuits because they are source of potential difference. So for an electric cell, that is a symbol where we have two lines, one longer and one shorter, and the other left right side, these are the connecting wires. Okay, so positive is written next to the longer line, and next to the shorter line, that is negative is written. So a cell, you must have seen also the cells, because we use it in day-to-day life for the clocks and for the other components like your remote control of your TV set. So every cell has two terminals, positive and negative. Actually in cell, as I told you, cell is a source of potential difference. So in cell, chemical action takes place which is able to maintain or create the potential difference between the two terminals or across the two terminals. And one terminal is positive, which is at high potential, and the other terminal is negative, which is at low potential. And this cell is not only creating this potential difference, but when electric current flows through the circuit, chemical action takes place in the cell continuously, which maintains this potential difference also, so that electric current can continuously flow. Now what is a battery? So I hope you have understood the symbol of cell. You should write plus and negative sign also preferably. A battery. What is a battery? A battery is a combination of cells, two cells or more cells. So one cell, if it provides certain potential difference, when we use a battery of those cells, it will provide greater potential difference. So battery is also a source of potential difference. It is a combination of two or more cells which provides higher potential difference compared to the individual cell. For battery, we can use any of the two symbols. The first symbol, that is positive, negative. First we have written the symbol of a cell, and then negative of the first cell is connected to the positive of the second cell, and then we have negative terminal of the second cell. So we write positive and negative only at two places, positive of first cell, negative of the second cell. So it shows a battery of 2 cells. Similarly, you can draw 3 cells or 4 cells and show battery of 3 or 4 cells. But commonly, when we say just battery, we can use just 2 cells to represent a battery of any number of cells. And preferably, we can use the second symbol also for a battery of any number of cells. So any symbol will do for battery. Now, open, plug key or switch. Here plug key does the same purpose as that of switch. So they mean the same thing only. Open, as I have told you before, when the switch is open, it means there is no electric current in the circuit. So switch is off. So in this case, we can use any of the two symbols. So first symbol, I prefer to draw the first symbol. Just draw this line and two curves here. So this is the switch which is opened. Okay, or second figure is also there where there is gap between the two dots, which shows that there is no conducting link here. Switch is closed. Next is closed plug key or switch. When the switch is closed, current is flowing through the circuit. Circuit is on. Okay, devices are working. So in this case, we will use the symbol for open switch but put a dot inside it. In between the two curves, we'll put a dot, which means that the switch is closed. Or we can use the other diagram, but in that diagram, we'll make the two dots coincide. Okay, or we can show them overlapping, or we can show one above the other. They are in contact, you have to show. So I prefer to draw the first symbols for the open switch and closed switch. These are better. Now you know that in any circuit we have many wires. Okay, so when you draw the circuit diagram, the wires may be overlapping. Whether they are joined or they are just overlapping, so that also should be differentiated. There should be difference between the two wires when they are just overlapping without any joint or when they are joined. So here we have a symbol for a wire joint. Here this dot shows that these two wires are joined here. So depending upon a circuit, so we can use this or this symbol to show that the wires are joined. Okay, next, if we have the wires that we are drawing in the circuit diagram, they are crossing each other, but they are not joined. They are just overlapping. There is no connection actually between the two directly. So disjoint wires. So here we have two wires which we have drawn. They can be seen here overlapping. Here this is overlapping over this wire, but this is not joined. So there is no dot. This curve shows that the wires are disjoint. So wire crossing is there, but there is no connection between the two at this point. Next we have electric bulb. So we are using the electric bulb. You should know as this symbol will be used in our 10th class, and you have started this in lower classes also. So I am drawing here the symbols of the components which you will be requiring for your 10th class. Electric bulb. For electric bulb, this symbol is used. Although when you see in other books, this symbol is also there for electric bulb. Okay, but this I have just shown here so that when you look at the symbol in any of the diagrams, you should not feel that you don't know what it represents. So this is also a symbol of bulb which is used, but we will be using this symbol for electric bulb. Similarly, there is a component about which we will study later, but I will show the symbols here as I am showing symbols of all the components that you will be using this year. So a resistor of resistance R. We'll see what is resistor, what is resistance later. So just remember the symbols. So this is the symbol that we will be using for a resistor of resistance R. This is a symbol which you can find in circuit diagrams in some of the notebooks, some of the textbooks. But we will not be using this symbol, although this is also correct symbol for a resistor of resistance R. We will be using this symbol only. Similarly, this resistor has fixed value of resistance R, although you don't know now what is resistance actually. Still just listen here. Variable resistance or rheostat. Here it means the value here is fixed. This is having fixed resistance. Here there is arrangement for varying the value of resistance of the resistor. So we call it as variable resistance, or there is a component called as rheostat which is also providing variable resistance. Even sometimes here we directly, instead of using the word a resistor of resistance R, simply resistance word is used. So here we can have variable resistance, or rheostat is a device which provides us variable resistance. So this is a symbol used. This is a symbol for variable resistance. So just like this, but put an arrow over it. Or there is a special symbol for rheostat also. So when we know that the component which is providing variable resistance is a rheostat, we can use this symbol. This is a symbol same like resistance, and just put an arrow like this. Remember, these two should be in contact. So in your 10th class, we'll be using either this or this symbol for variable resistance. Although do remember that if this represents resistance, when I put an arrow over it, this represents variable resistance. So you may see this, the symbols, in the textbooks, in some of the textbooks, but we are not going to use these symbols. Now next, ammeter. We'll see what is ammeter. So ammeter, let me tell you, ampere. Ampere is a unit of current. So ammeter is a measuring device. Ammeter is a measuring device which measures current. Although it may measure current in amperes or milliamperes or microamperes. So ammeter, remember, it is an instrument which is used to measure current in an electric circuit. And this is a symbol for it. Plus, minus, and this round with A inside it. So ammeter has positive, negative. Similarly, here we have voltmeter. Voltmeter is a device, as the name suggests. It is a meter which measures volts. Volts means potential difference. So voltmeter is a measuring instrument which measures the potential difference across any component in an electric circuit, and this is a symbol for it. So these two symbols are very similar, but here we write for ammeter, we write capital A, whether it measures milliammeter or microampere, whether it is a milliammeter or microammeter. It means whether ammeter measures current in a milliampere or microampere or ampere, we can use this symbol. Similarly, voltmeter may measure potential difference in millivolts or microvolts. We can use simply this symbol for the voltmeter. So ammeter measures current in an electric circuit. Remember that in an electric circuit, ammeter is always connected in series. Afterwards, I'll draw the circuit and explain you how it is connected in series. What do you mean by series connection? And remember, voltmeter is always connected in parallel across the device between which or across which you have to measure the potential difference. So ammeter is connected in series and voltmeter is connected always in parallel. Galvanometer. Now what is galvanometer? Galvanometer is a device which measures, in fact we are not using it to measure current. It is measuring current only, but it is not used to measure current because we can generally use it to detect the presence of very small current. It means when the current is very small, maybe much smaller than microampere, which ammeter cannot detect. In that case, galvanometer is used. So galvanometer is a device which is used to detect small current in the circuit. We can use it to measure very small current. So usually for detection of small current in the circuit, which cannot be measured by an ammeter, we use galvanometer. This is a symbol for galvanometer, but see here there is no positive and negative sign. Okay, so I hope these symbols are clear to you. Learn these symbols properly, and now I'll explain you the simple circuit. Let us consider a very simple circuit. So here, this is a simple circuit diagram I have shown, in which we have battery, bulb, key, this is opened, an ammeter, voltmeter. As I have told you, in any electric circuit, an ammeter is always connected in series. So here we have an ammeter connected in series. Series means you consider any gap in the circuit. Now this is a circuit, right? You can cut the wire, or you can have two wires, one coming from this side, one coming from this side, connected to ammeter, as we have done that side. So ammeter can be inserted in the circuit this way. Ammeter is connected here in series. It can be placed there, it can be connected here, 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 anywhere. There is no problem. There is no fixed position. Only the thing is ammeter should be connected in series, and plus, very important thing, that the plus sign of ammeter should be towards the plus sign of battery. It means when we have the battery's plus sign here, so if we move from this side, which side of ammeter comes first? Upper one. So there we will write plus and negative down. See, negative is towards this side. So this is how ammeter is connected in series. It can be placed anywhere. Just take care of its positive and negative sign. We know it is used to measure electric current in the circuit. Now here we have voltmeter. Voltmeter measures what? Potential difference across this bulb. So as I have told you, voltmeter should always be connected in parallel between the 2 points across which potential difference has to be measured. So now voltmeter is here in this case used to measure the potential difference across the bulb. So it is connected in parallel across the bulb. If I remove the voltmeter, suppose from here I remove the voltmeter, circuit will still be working, but the only thing is we cannot measure the potential difference across the bulb using voltmeter if it is removed from here. If we remove ammeter, circuit will be working when we join the two wires. Okay, you have to join the two wires, that positive negative terminals are connected to the two ends of the wires. Those wires should be joined. Then the circuit will be working normally, but only thing is current will not be measured by the ammeter. Again, for voltmeter, you have to take care that the positive sign of voltmeter should be towards the positive side of the battery. So two things you have learned now, that ammeter should be connected in series, taking care of its positive sign, which should be towards the positive sign of the battery, or same thing for negative sign also you can say. Voltmeter is connected in parallel between the 2 points across which the potential difference is to be measured, and this is what is parallel connection. So you want to measure potential difference across it, just take two wires, one from this side, one from this side, connected to voltmeter. So voltmeter is connected in parallel. Take care of positive and negative sign as I have told you for ammeter, same thing. Now, in an electric circuit, here the plug key is open. It means there is no current in the circuit. Now remember, in some books you will find this symbol for bulb. Okay, we put a circle around this thing, and this represents actually the filament of the bulb. So wait, now I'll draw the circuit when the key is closed. See, when I draw the circuit such that to show that current is flowing in the circuit, it means the key is closed or switch is closed, then we should put this symbol. This dot represents this is closed key, and when we show closed key, it is very important we have to show the direction of current. Remember, as I have told you earlier, by convention the direction of current is taken as the direction in which the positive charge flows. But in reality, negative charge electrons flow in direction. So that is, current direction is not changed. It is still taken as the same only. The direction in which the positive charge flows, but positive charge does not move. So we can consider that the direction of current is opposite to the direction of electrons in an electric circuit. Now here, so the direction of current will be shown from positive towards negative terminal. Even one arrow will be enough. You can show this arrow coming out from positive, or you can show an arrow at any place. So you can draw, at least you should draw one arrow in proper direction from positive towards negative. Now what happens in this circuit is, now cell or battery can be used here. In a cell, chemical action takes place, because of which there is potential difference created across its two terminals, positive and negative. So even if I don't connect anything to this battery or to the cell, then also there will be potential difference across the two terminals. Okay, but there will be no path for the charges to flow. Potential difference means what? How it is created? One positive terminal, one negative terminal. Positive terminal means there is deficiency of electrons. In simple words I am explaining you. We are not going in depth. Negative terminal means excess of electrons. So here positive negative terminals. Positive means deficiency of electrons. Negative means excess of electrons. So positive terminal has high potential, negative terminal has low potential. There is potential difference across the two even when nothing is connected to the cell or battery. Now if I connect the two terminals through some conducting path as I have shown here, then what will happen? Electrons, excess of electrons which are present at the negative terminal, they will move from low potential towards high potential. It means from negative terminal towards the positive terminal. So electrons starts moving from this side, negative terminal, towards positive terminal, and we take the direction of current as from positive terminals towards negative terminal. And remember this potential difference, as in the case of in the part 1 of the video we have seen, to maintain to have water current in the structure as we have shown, we should have a motor, we should have some device which will maintain the water level difference on the two sides. Similarly here, to maintain the potential difference, the chemical act energy of the cell or battery is used. So in this case we can say chemical energy stored in battery, it gets converted into electric energy, it gets converted into heat energy and light energy of bulb. I hope this simple circuit diagram is clear to you and simple explanation of the diagram is clear to you. We are not going in depth. So please revise the video and we'll continue with this chapter in our next video.